Yeah, they keep playing with the audio on this. If I make a video and it's just a sound test, there is no echo. But if I'm actually intending to upload it and I go past the sound test, then it echoes. So this is very touchy for them, obviously, and it's because there's more than one topic going to be covered in this video, at least partially. This is really just a partial cover of two topics, but they're both really interrelated. So I'm gonna get started.
It looks like this new thermal hotspot near Turn Lake in Yellowstone is growing in size. This
Why
is
is
a
it
region
though?
that was first picked up back in 2017, and it looks like the area which you see here that they have outlined has definitely grown in size
Ask why.
since the initial find and images. Now, this is said to be kind of out in the back country of Yellowstone. They were relying on satellite imagery to kind of pick up a lot of this stuff, but initially, what they discovered is that all the trees and everything started to die out in this region. So they now have had some guys get back here on foot
It died out
and
instead of getting
explore this
burned out.
region at ground level, and they state that yes, the temperature is rising at the surface level.
You might want to ask
trees
why.
have disappeared
They
in
didn't
this
disappear.
spot,
They got
and that
burnt
the
up.
ground itself is spongy. It's almost to where if you stepped in the wrong spot, you could step into a hole and go into some
Abyss.
hot stuff, whether it's going to be magma,
Or hell.
lava, hot water,
Fire.
no matter what it is. They're saying that it's heating up and that the ground is softening.
Mm-hmm.
So, they've known about this area for some time, but to get someone on foot down here, this is the first time it's ever happened, they say. The guy said it was absolutely beautiful in the area, but all the trees and plants in the hot spot have been killed by the high temperatures
Been burned up.
and from these chemicals that are boiling up from underneath of the region.
Boiling up.
So,
Bubbling
just
up.
some updated information. Boiling up.
And the chemicals are also what is causing people to have reactions when it gets in the air, like people having rashes and stuff like that. That also could just be they're not ready for the energy that's going on in there. That could be a factor too. Which I tend to believe is that more than anything. Let's see what the NPCs had to say. Of course, you already know I'm talking about the non-player characters, these people that pretend to be real people, but they're not real. Just robots. They have no clue that that heating up of the surface is what burned up the trees. And maybe that's why all of California and everything around the Pacific Rim is so fucking hot all year round, winter or fucking summer, because they have their own heat source coming from underground. Oh, geez. Oh, I didn't. Of course you didn't think of that. If you're an NPC, at least. You still ain't going to get it. The rest of you are here and understand. Good for you. But these NPCs, they don't get it. They're going to sit here and make jokes because they're a part of the Matrix. They're a part of the system. They're just trying to push forward the system, the agenda of the system. So they don't say shit. Just make jokes. Make people try and lose that natural fucking reaction they're supposed to have of wanting to figure out what's going on. This comment section is just here to give you a false sense of you've done some exploring. You never did any exploring. Maybe you would have found my videos then. I mean, not necessarily you, but that person in that instance I'm talking about. You see what they're putting here? Nothing but jokes, dude. This is what they. That's because they are jokes. They put out what they are. This is fucking life and death right here. So, yeah, I guess they forgot about the wildfires that have been happening in the area because they're not real. These people are not fucking real. The wildfires are real, but these people ain't real. So if all that increased temperature to the point where it can kill off everything above it, like, don't you think that, maybe, some of these other volcanoes are the reason that some of these increases of temperature are causing, these trees that are already hot from the temperatures rising below them from the volcanoes, Then when they're hit with the heat from the sun, and on top of that, maybe some lasers from China, because they want to land grab everything around the Pacific Rim, because that's where all the energy is building up. And that's why everybody around California is so quote unquote healthy. And all these health gurus and all these athletes of high level just gravitate to that kind of area just because it's high energy. That's why the West has been so successful. That's why the gold and all these things are there. And then on top of that, it just so happens to be the place where all the rare minerals are. Something about the Pacific area. Like it's like more, um, you know, rare minerals and stuff like that there than anywhere. So they really want that land. And that's why Japan came to Hawaii in World War II, is because they had more gold there, mostly stolen from Fort Knox, than anywhere. They had enough gold there to be richer than the $500 trillion Rothschilds or Rockefellers or whatever the fuck. And so, yeah, that's what that was about. But this is also why you'll see, like, when it comes to energy, this is all about energy. They don't let you know what's causing this, this increase. It's an energy build up in the earth that is causing the volcanoes to act up. This is in the Bible. They said this will happen. That there'd be pillars of fire and all that kind of stuff. And these days, it's got to do with the energy buildup of God. That's why they said that people lose their minds in the presence of God in these days, because the energy is so high, and we're dealing with low vibrational people that are what I call NPCs, and they're really a mixture of all kinds of lower life forms that are around us. Many of them mix with all kinds of animals. Many of them reptilians, pretend to be other things. Some of them are actually just clones, and I believe in order to make the clones work properly, I believe they mixed them with reptilians for some reason. I've only say this because I've seen it in my dream that there was basically the whole fucking city I was at was like nothing but reptilians that were clones of each other. They all looked female. And then, so from that, I basically really started to put it together recently that I had that dream a while ago that we're dealing with reptilians, and I started to decide to see if clones were all reptilians because I was into the NPC thing, and I was realizing maybe this is related. So then I checked out clones, and basically all clones are female. I don't believe that they ever made any male clones. They supposedly made one. I don't believe them. Make another and show me the genitals and prove it for me. Like I didn't see any proof. It just said it. There was no real proof. Um, but anyway, so yeah, all they were women, all of them were women, and then so on top of that, I found out that not just almost all clones are women, basically except for one. According to their bullshit, I don't believe them. Because you're not gonna be able to sell this bullshit to people unless they think even these rich males can get cloned too. They want to be able to be cloned too, and not be turned into a bitch. But this just reminded me, like I really wanted to put this in my other video where I really explain this better, but Michael Jackson, look at him before that Thriller, I think it was. No, not Thriller, but the one where he look up cloning in Michael Jackson, where there's this video where it shows this woman in the bed, and he's like, "Who can stand while she's in demand? She's in demand." And before this, he was male. He had color to his skin. He was more masculine sounding. He had more like a bass to his voice, like a man. And after this, all of a sudden, they like everybody is saying he was going to get cloned in this, and it wasn't going to be him no more. And that's exactly what happened. Now I understand why he says she's in demand. Um, it's the cloning, and you have to become some kind of like hermaphrodite or female to become a clone. Otherwise, you think Michael Jackson would have came back as that? Is that female he came back as with that squeaky ass voice and skinny ass body because he can't digest food anymore? He's a clone. Um, just like these, like I told you, they're mostly females. Basically all females, from what I can tell. That's why they all have this um, lack of consciousness, lack of super consciousness of morality. That's what super consciousness is. Like women. Um, this is why they're low energy. They, you know, That's just like he lost his pigmentation. He lost it all, man. He was totally femaled out after that. And it's just like that's a very good example now that I think about it. But there's the Garden of Eden. Eve was the serpent seed. She is the serpent seed. I don't give a fuck about them saying she fucked the serpent in the garden, which is very likely. In the book actually says that it says was beguiled by the snake. And if you look at the original translation, it literally says she was fucked by the snake. Um, and you know that's what explains Cain. That's why Jesus said your father, the devil, and you know the dragon, basically he's been a liar, a murderer, and a killer from the beginning. That's Cain. Cain, and then Eve, she left with Cain. The mark of Cain is incest. They had sex with each other. That's how he was able to proliferate. That's why they didn't want you to see the book of Enoch. Um, and then from that came, you know, the black race, and then other races from that were mutations. Um, it says they were both black. One was a black bull, one was a black heifer. And then after they left Adam, after they killed Abel, you know, they had children together. And then Adam didn't have any more children until she came back to him from Cain. She was having sex with him. And so this is why you got this really twisted side of the fucking of the gene pool out there, like where they're fucking like all into this weird shit of fucking little kids and stuff like that. And then on top of that, they're basically animalistic because they also were fucking animals. That's why the devil is part when they're depicted as part animal and part feminine, part like with the breast, and then part man. It's all because of that. And the angels fell down from heaven, mixed with them, and then, you know, they had dicks like horses, as it said. Um, and then that's why they called these guys horse leeches. These dinosaurs, they called them horse leeches, and they walked on all fours like a dog, like a horse, and that's why they had dicks like horses. They were snakes, and that's why this is reptilian thing, like so alive in the African mythology. Even David Icke had to go down there and talk to this one guy about it. And, you know, that's why you got all this Anunnaki stuff. Now, Anunnaki are sometimes depicted as fucking reptilians, but specifically a female, no male, giving birth to her egg. You take snakes or lizards, they're all fucking asexually producing. They don't need a male. They'll just lay the fucking eggs or whatever the fuck. Like, they don't need them. How did I know this? It's all off that dream. It told me everything. That's how I learned. Like, and this is why they don't want us having our higher consciousness, so we don't see through their lies. This is why they have blocked DMT. That's why LSD was supposed to be a stimulant, but because it stimulated the brain so much, it became a hallucinogen. Anything that makes your brain really higher, that's what they don't want you to have, because then you might see things that they don't want you to see that are right there, but you can't fucking see it because you're asleep. Literally, you're not even conscious. They got you on a lower state of consciousness, so you can't even see this shit. And it's really just the whole gist of it, to try and keep it short. They don't want to deal with energy, but also the hermaphroditism. That's why there's this female agenda. Jonathan Kleck talked about in the Bible how they said there would be a female rising at the end of the Bible, at the end of the world, and all that kind of stuff. And that's what we're dealing with, and that's why women always like bad guys, and that's why bad guys always get the women, is because they're in leagues together against us. That's why, no offense, women love pitch black guys or rich guys, aka white guys. They don't like the brown guy for some fucking reason, I've noticed. Like, they never date their own. Like, they always date either the white side of the checkerboard for money and fame and all that shit or whatever the fuck, or the black guy for the rod of iron. Well, the horse dick, really. Like, women fuck all kinds of stuff, boy. They'll fuck their dog. Man, like, you wouldn't even believe, man. That's crazy, bro. Women are something else, bro. That's why God said, 1 out of 1,000 men I found righteous. 0 out of all women. 0. Because they're the fucking problem, bro. And then on top of that, at the end of the book, it says that the 144,000 were not defiled with women. Put that together. And then what is a battery? It's negative and positive. What is a magnet? Negative and positive. Anyways, this is why they use women to basically extract the resources of men. They've done it to destroy this country. I have no problem with women working. If it wasn't for that, like, I'm telling you, my life would have been harder, because my mother was like my light in life, even though she's really Not exactly pure, I'll put it that way. She even told me she's one of them. She even told me, like, that's how close I am with her. My fucking mother, man. Like, sometimes I think I'm adopted, but I'll tell you the truth. I seen my own eyes. I thought it was just cat eyes though, because cats have the eyes too. Because I also have cat eyelids. If you look at my video, I'm pretty sure I do have. I'm just cat eyelids. But my mom, she said she was one of them, so it kind of made me wonder maybe I'm just serpent or whatever. But nah, I'm pretty sure I'm just cat eyes because I saw in this one dream I had the cat eyes, but all the time, like even right now, I have third eyelids, like third and fourth eyelids. It's not covering my whole eye like a snake's does. I don't think, at least. I'm pretty sure it's just in the inner part, like a cat. That's what I've always noticed it to be, but sometimes I think it is over my whole eye. I'm not sure. It might be both. I might have adapted both parts of my inner self or whatever the fuck. But I'm telling you, I'm not no bad guy or whatever. I wouldn't be exposed and all this otherwise. And as far as I'm concerned, they can die. I'm not lactose intolerant. But a very evil person I know is. And that's another thing that made me realize that maybe this is real. And it do has like everything in common with what I've been teaching about these reptilians. I'm not to make a whole other video to really get into this, but like it's kind of important you get this while I'm bringing this up. I'm trying to finish this on this part. But so like that's why they use the women to take the energy of men, like from your work to your attention. Like you're always men are always giving women attention, and this is all distracting them from their higher purpose. We're at a war right now, and it's actually largely with women. Like if you pay attention, they're like doing a lot of really bad things. And if we had Hillary in there, knowing what I know now, we would have been fucked. Um, and then even if you see a male one, like a male lizard or whatever, they're not male. They're hermaphrodite, or they're just really female, pretending to be a male, and that's why their character is just so fucking bad. Like it's just like a female. Like it's so selfish, all that kind of shit. A lot of these leaders are like that. Putin already exposed them. He said that 95% of the leaders are reptilians and are the Babylonian cult. Well, the Babylonians, the Anunnakis, those reptilian motherfuckers, man. They've been trying to fucking fool people for a long time. Babylon was basically the first country or city that basically involved basically lying and pyramid schemes where they had the people at the bottom just, and people went along with it because it was the first time and it probably wasn't as bad as the later ones. Um, Basically, they had them basically in the slave mentality where they would work for them, and then they had guys at the top that would have a lot more money so they could organize things. And then we already know where that went. It just got out of worse and worse. They wanted more and more power, more and more subjectivity of the people. And that became just all fucking cities, like all slavery systems. All these cities are based around Babylon, like all of them, like the tax system, all of it. The only one that wasn't like it was the the Society of the Nazarenes, who were totally against the Pharisees, the Sadducees, and this is where the war in the Bible comes from between Jesus and them. Jesus was a Nazarene. He was of that cult, but you know that sect or whatever, and they lived totally different. They shared everything. There was no fucking guy at the top or whatever. Everybody was, like they would share each other with each other if anybody needed anything. Everything was shared. And the more people had, the more they would share. Everybody had everything they wanted or needed. Nobody was a lack of nothing. They took care of their health because this is all about energy. If your diet's not good, your energy is not going to be good. They even showed the unclean spirits. Let me show you real quick. I'm gonna try and show you real quick while I'm talking about it. But you could go to my videos or whatever and see this shit. Like I have. Oh damn! I didn't mean to go there. From there, gotta get this to load again. But actually, that one's done
It looks
talking.
like this new
Um, Basically there's these stomach demons. Like I talked to this guy from the Latin country, where this is actually happening because this is like largely happening in those countries because of like the way they live, and then they're around the hot areas where these reptiles are, and this is actually one of the places where there's more whatchamacallit, all around these hot areas are basically a lot of people that are in, lactose intolerant, just like a snake. And basically, you can check this video out on my page. I'm gonna show you real quick, just a little picture of it real quick. It's seen stomach demon is real. Hardly any views. Like this one right here. You gotta. I'm just gonna click on it so you can see it, because I know you people probably ain't gonna bother to look, because that's how you are. Most of y'all are NPCs, and so they would cleanse themselves. These are the unclean spirits of the Bible. Let me mute that. They're just gonna be real emotional because she's basically got a xenomorph coming out of her belly. You need to check out my Matrix video. I kind of break down the diet you need to get into. Now I've really perfected the diet. It's all about metabolism. You want something that'll increase your metabolism and speed up your metabolism and put on more muscle. This is why God always like David, people like David and all that were always around people that were strong. And Solomon, not Solomon, but Samson, why he was so strong. It's got to do with power. Like the more muscle mass you have, the faster your metabolism is. So you got more energy flow going through you. You got more warmth to you. And these lizards, they're cold-blooded, so they have to live in a host and basically feed off of them and shit like that. And these parasites, all those kind of lower entities, those lower vibrational entities, they look at, living creatures, usually warm-blooded creatures, as it's like a host. And, they're just using them for energy and all that kind of stuff. So you can see here clearly what the fuck's going on. I showed my friend it, and they didn't even need to show him. He was like, oh, yeah, man, that's got to do with diet, man. And I was like, what? You already know? He was like, yeah, it happens all the time in my country. I was like, what? I need to get him on camera, bro, like for real. Well, yeah, that's really fucked up. And then, it's all about energy. So, like, you up your vibration, you can just kill those things. Like an alkaline environment is good for the good bacteria, and those fight the bad bacteria, like a war in heaven, like it's internal. And that's why Prince William said he wanted to come back as a virus, is because he already is a virus. He just putting it right in your face, what it's all about, who the real demons are. Like, they come in that form as well. Like all throughout history, that's how they looked at it. It's an energetic thing. When you lower your energy, you're susceptible to them or whatever. That's why they're always trying to hypnotize you with the TV, which lowers your frequency. If you watch it for just 30 hours, I mean, not 30 hours, but 30 minutes, you'll be in the fight or flight state for fucking 3 days. Like your consciousness is shut down for 3 days. Most people never go more than 3 days without watching TV, including me nowadays. When I was real serious about it and I wanted to see what would happen if I did that, I was able to manifest reality and all kinds of stuff. And it was really easy. But then they started really coming after me. Like, if you're a targeted individual, it's because your energy is really high and they can't handle it. Because, like I said, they're like a virus. When you get on a fever, you're raising your energy. You're raising your body temperature to destroy the virus. It can't handle the energy. It can't handle the heat. The reason they cook the food before they give it to you is to kill these viruses. That's the whole purpose of it. Wild animals, they eat whatever, man. They eat cold blood, all that shit. That's why God says don't do that. That's why this is called the mark of the beast. Like I said, these guys, they're fucking monkeys, all kinds of shit. Let me show you. And then this is what people say happen all the time. They're like, yeah, I saw the motherfucker and then they fucked up with their shapeshifts and I could see their teeth. But what's that fucking thing on their cheek too? Looks like a little horn. But you got a lot of these mutants and shit like that. This is just one of them. This is a reptilian. Like, it's not a goddamn deformity. You see this shit? They got gills. They got red eyes. I thought it was just a skin problem. Why is eyes fucking red, bro? Like low frequency. Most people don't know it. Like, snakes can't fucking see. And you think this is a joke? Look up the name of this fucking birth defect, man. You know what? You can find it your goddamn self. It's a birth defect. They got the fucking name for it. You keep look at these pictures like here, and then try and do a little research with the relators and stuff. You'll find the name of the disease. It's an actual supposed skin disease. I'm gonna show you another example of it. They'll probably have another one in here. But this is not no goddamn skin disease. And then this shit, this is on the fucking top of the Hallmark, like it was at one of these stores, like I forget what fucking store, like Baby Boutique. Like they were selling this shit in the fucking store. Like the kid has slit eyes. Like I don't know if the cat eyes or lizard eyes. I would guess the lizard eyes, since most people are fucking lizards. Um, this is fucking crazy, dude. But that shit ain't normal. It's not no goddamn birth defect, bro. You look this shit up. This shit is a real thing. This is not a fucking CGI or nothing, bro. It's a real fucking kid. And people think this shit is a real birth defect, bro. What about those little those joints, like the way it like their skin is probably rock hard, bro. It's scaly. And he got fucking claws instead of feet. Instead of toes, he got claws, bro. And he ain't got sex organs. Like, this shit is crazy as fuck that niggas think this is normal. People born, there's people born with fucking, with the Cyclops eye. I could look that up for you if you want. Like, Cyclops eye. Like, they got that shit. They got people with the extra fingers. Every little mutation that is related to these demons is in these people. Like they got all that shit. The bow-legged people. A lot of Africans and other Canaanites, like the Asians, have that issue. They're fucking monkeys and stuff. That's why they look like monkeys with the flat faces and stuff. It's crazy, bro. Hopefully this will show you. Yeah, look at that. Look at this shit. But what surprise is related to goats? Oh, God. So there we go with that part goat, part man thing again. Oh, God. And then, like, I could just go on and on. This shit is real. It's all around us, and they try to act like this shit is birth defects. That's why, I don't fuck with people with bad genetics. That's why I'm happy. I was picky about who I dated growing up. All that shit, bro. This shit is realer than a motherfucker, bro. But anyways, these creatures are lower vibration. That's why his eyes are red. And, like, they can't even see. All they can see is fucking infrared heat. So that's how they hunt. That's why they even when the Jews came out and it was like these fake Jews, they was like, we're the lizard people. Lizards reproduce asexually, and all these people are hermaphroditic. You look at them, all these white people have white monkey features and hermaphroditic features. Not just them, but it's in all the races. Only a few people don't have these features, and it still doesn't mean they're pure. You have to go by a person's character more than anything. I'm pretty sure everybody, for the most part, is fucked over, to one degree or another. But this is a major problem, and it just kind of needs to be exposed. That's basically all I can say about it. Like, this shit is ridiculous, man. Like, like, for example, like I said, they're really low frequency, so all they can see is infrared heat or whatever. All they can hear is lower vibrations, like really deep, bassy stuff. That's why they listen to that shitty music that any of us that are really aware, awakened beings can't deal with. We hate that shit. That boom, 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 over and over again. Like the sound, it just sounds like a fucking fart. The song sounds like a goddamn fart, bro. And then we got not only these lizards, we got the fucking, like, everybody sees this lizard bitch when they do DMT. They see the lizard bitch. Not a lizard man, lizard bitch. And she's sitting there just waiting for the motherfuckers to deceive their ass as soon as they open their eyes. What are the fucking eyes? The lizard bitch. That's Eve, man. Like, basically probably every damn person got their own, every male especially, probably even the women. I don't know. I gotta check out these women DMT reports. They probably, now that I think about it, I don't see any female DMT reports now that I think about it. I have never seen a female DMT report. All right. Yeah. I've never seen a woman DMT report, dude, like, at all. This shit's crazy, bro. Yeah, there's a lot of animal hybrids. Like in China, they found this man like with a fish face, some shit like that. Like a fish with a man's face. Yeah, that's what the fucking thing is. Yeah, let me show you. And what is processed in Chinese? Fish with man face. Like this shit is real. It was on the fucking news. Look, fish with man face. This kind of shit going on. Oh, of course, they're not gonna show the actual one. I think that's actually down there, that black one, or the black guy. It's kind of black. I think there was actually the other one. Yeah, this is the one. This is the one that I saw the actual video, and I saw that it was on the news channel. I'm not sure the one with the black guy was real, but you see this shit? Do you fucking see this shit, bro? Now you know how mermaids came across, and they can control the goddamn dick again. Like, oh my god. But anyways, in these DMT reports, they always see this fucking lizard bitch, man. Probably the same one that fucking gives people wet dreams and shit. Who knows? Might be a natural course of action that happens with that. But that shit is ridiculous. What's to say about that? So yeah, these mutations and shit are real. They're not real mutations. They're fucking well, they are mutations. It's called the mark of the beast. Called splicing as well. These could be genetic modified creatures. But also there are real fucking hybrids from people fucking stuff. That's why, like I said, a lot of these basketball stars like Zion Williams. What does his face look like? Tell me the truth. He looks like an ape. Got no lips hardly for a black guy. His face real flat. He looks like an ape. That ain't a monkey. Ape. I'm sure they're fucking not just monkeys. The rhesus monkey is where the white man coming from because the rhesus monkey, his skin on his face, like you can see right through it, just like the white man, like literally just like him. All the features are the same, um, and you know that's why he can't run for shit. He can't walk right either. But the monkeys, their legs, they're not made to stand upright. Man is. It's another way you can tell by their just how good the genetics are, how natural they are. Like the guy, he could jump through the roof because he's got monkey fucking ape fucking strength. But he already broke his goddamn knee, and that's why a lot of these basketball players break their knees because a lot of them are apish Nephilim. That's why they're tall, extremely tall, like the Nephilim Basketball League, Nephilim Basketball Association. Um, white people are a lot. White people are very tall too. The Asians, you see where it goes, because it started as Mongols in Africa. Look at the hair. Animals all have straight hair. These people have straight hair. Asian people have straight hair. White people have straight hair. That's an animal feature. Even natives had straightish hair, and you already know what it is, man. There's a lot of people all over the planet. I don't give a fuck if they seem native or whatever. They'll eat your face in a lot of places and tell me they're really good people then. Especially in Africa. They'll carnivore your ass real fast. I saw it in a dream. And I saw in Latin America, they're doing a lot of organ harvesting and don't even care about it. They'll cut each other for fucking car parts, man. Like, it's crazy, bro. Saw that shit. That's how I learned about organ harvesting. I saw that shit happen. And I saw how carnivores are. It's like, it's crazy because these creatures, their organs don't work that well. So they need to take our organs and replace theirs with them. That's what the FEMA camps were with Obama. They were meant to, like anybody that was like a political enemy of his, which are going to be the Christians, obviously they were planning on beheading them and taking their organs just like they did in China. They stole the idea from China. Everything Obama did, he stole from the guy in China. He replaced everything in the government so that he would still be able to run it after he leaves presidency and be a permanent dictator. And then on top of that, that's why he's like the last president. That's what the prophecy said, and he really was. If you watch Trump, is he really the president? Like, is he really able to do anything? No, like they're always undermining him on everything he fucking does. Every fucking thing. That's because Obama's really still in charge. The Chinese guy did the same thing. They also created their own secret police. And then, like, Obama did the same thing. They would take the Falun Gong guys that are basically like, you know, meditators and stuff that have really good organs and stuff. And then they would put them in jail and then organ harvest them and stuff, like using the excuse of that. These guys are the most peaceful people on the planet. Like their whole thing is about non-aggression and stuff like that. Yet they target them. Come on, give me a break, dude. It's like you see, it's like this really fat, ugly bitch that you just ape-looking bitch that sees a really pretty bitch and sees all that life in her, and she's just like, "Oh, I see the heat in her. I see the infrared light in her. She's full of light energy. I'm going to bash her face in, make me feel better." That's what these people do. Like, or she acts like she doesn't like her, but she likes her. She got like a crush on her, like, or some ugly dude that got a crush on her, act like he ain't got a crush on her, and picks on her just so he can touch her. That's what these people are like. They're trying to just start a fight with these peaceful, holy people of God and Falun Gong and also in Christianity, and trying to, take the organs and stuff because they know they're full of life. Um, Instead of being like an animal person that no worth in taking their organs because the organs are dead already. Like, and have no energy in it. Well, anyways, that's what the Matrix movie told you. Put it right in your face. The whole Matrix is just to turn you into a battery, basically. And were you looking at the woman in the red dress? Yeah. See, the woman in the red dress. What was that? The negative, the red, the lower vibration, bringing you down, distracting you from your true purpose. It's right in your face, man. Put it right through that movie. The movie was like big. And then the reason the later one sucked is because they stole the idea originally from this woman, this Hebrew woman, and they're not inspired. There's some fucking freak ass homo motherfuckers that probably like those homo niggas. Once they turn homo like that, it's no longer them. It's a clone. They fucking replaced the Wachowski brothers with clones. That could be also why their future videos suck. Because in my opinion, even though they stole the idea from the woman, they did a damn good job of putting it on the screen. Damn good job. I think what it was is they were a little mad that they put too much of the occult shit out there. And the occult, if you're not into the occult, you're an idiot. Because all knowledge is hidden. All real knowledge is fucking hidden. So what are you searching for? What the fuck are you searching for then? If you ain't searching for occult knowledge, huh? You stupid fucker. Yeah. Learn the fucking definition of things and say it how it is and stop being a bitch. Okay? Tired of you bitches, man. Say it how it is. I'm tired of this politically correct shit. Tired of all this ass kissing. If you're wrong, you're fucking wrong. Admit it, okay? If you can't admit it, you don't need to be talking to me or hearing shit from me anyway. Go get burnt up with the rest of them, motherfucker. Hard-headed motherfucker. Go wake up in hell. But so yeah, this is where all this shit comes from because it's all fucking real. These guys can't handle it. That's why they're malfunctioning, like they're clones or these reptilian things. And either way they cannot handle energy. They're empty vessels that need energy flowing through them. Even machines need energy flowing through them. And on top of that, they drop these chemtrails on us all day that have synthetic biology and digital biology that takes these animal people and turns them into robots, basically cyborgs that they can control. That's why when they test everything, they test it on mice. They test it on animals, not people. People have a consciousness, like a real person will have a consciousness. That's why they make this war against consciousness. They want to vaccinate against religious people, and that's an excuse. They're picking a fight with them, religious fanatics, because they're really trying to vaccinate all religious people. And the part of the brain they're targeting, the frontal lobe, that's why the little bindi, the Indians put that shit there. And it's because that's where the consciousness is. That's where your frontal lobe is, your intention. Your intention is what you are. And your planning and all that kind of stuff. So they're trying to knock that out of the way. Like I said, that's once you're in fight or flight, that part of your brain shuts down for the most part. And you're not going to be like wholly conscious. Like you think you know what conscious is, you don't know what it is. You until you go for a whole fucking week or at least like 5 days or something like that without a TV or anything like that, no fucking computer, no nothing, just life, and you're away from the fucking frequencies and all that shit, the cell phones, all that shit, you're out in the wilderness or something like that, you don't know what it is. You don't know what consciousness is, and until you know how to meditate and create reality at the same time, you're not going to know what consciousness is, because that's what they're trying to stop you from doing. And then at the same time, you'll have more dreams, which is like your subliminal higher consciousness trying to teach you something without you. I call it subliminal because it's automatic. You have to become aware of how to consciously manifest things. I learned how to do that, and that kind of led me to the rest. It's all about high frequency, and that's to do with gamma wave meditations, but it kind of sets your whole path towards whatever you're meditating at. So it's best to put it towards God, and that saved me big time. And the enemy just is like hating me on that. But anyways, that's what God says, to give your heart, your soul, your strength, all your might to Him. And this is why God says that later on that people serve God in power. People don't serve God in power anymore. They don't show the power of God anymore. Come on, like me does. I shake the earth and the heavens, but I'm pretty unique. But everybody can do it. Everybody has powers and stuff like that. That if they're meant to, if they're of God, these animals. I wonder about them. They're just instinctual. That's why they're hive-minded. That's why whatever you do, like they're all on one accord against you. Like that's why whenever there's a new trend, they're all doing it. It doesn't matter what it is. Like not only are they like mind controlled through the Morgellons that, like I said, that comes out of the chemtrails, it gets in a person, and it basically just creates a whole computer network in them and use piezoelectricity to keep it going. So that's how they keep these guys energized and keep everything going or whatever, because they're dead inside basically. And it's really sad, and that's why they're so emotionally driven and all this kind of stuff. It's really just the machines within them. They're basically husked, like they're emptied out husks, they're golems. The best thing the devil ever wanted, like, was these type of people, and he's been able to do that. And but anyway, so what else was I gonna say? So yeah, like they're controlling them through that. That's how they can also hive mind and get them to track you. It doesn't matter, like if you go one place or another, because they already chemtrailed the whole place up. You might get away with it the first time you meet them, but then after that, then they start to make their actions on those people after they know you're going to interact with them. That's what I noticed. Like I'll meet someone once, and the next time I meet them, they're different. Um, but anyway, there's a lot more to it. Yeah, so it's like vibration and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, it's pretty much the gist of all that kind of stuff. But anyway, so these are lower vibrational things. They can't handle the higher energy things. Like, just like, for example, when you hit something with a solar flare, it's too energetically high, so it was shorted out. These guys get shorted out by that kind of stuff. That's why you see him on TV doing shit like what he's doing right here, but, not, intentionally. And he'd be just stuck like that, you know what I mean? Some weird shit like you've seen in the videos. Um, it's because they're literally fucking machines, literally like the clone machines, the organic robot toys, organic portals. Like they're in tune with these creatures, these spirits all around us. Like spirit realm is real. That's why everybody always sees angels and demons on the drugs, or if they have psychosis, or if they meditate too much, they see angels and demons. Not too much, enough, so you can actually see what's going on. I'm at the point where I'm not even afraid anymore. I want to know who's who, because if you don't know who's who, when you're dealing with a field of 95% of the people being the devil, like demons or some kind of animal or a robotoid or a reptile, like you don't have very good chances unless you could see directly what it is. And so now I'm at the point where I really am very interested in learning how to see these things. So I can see what's really there, man. I don't really give a fuck. I really don't. I'd rather know who's who. So I can know who I can trust and all that kind of stuff. It's to that point with me. I'm past the fear of having to deal with seeing them everywhere I go, because like I'm already being attacked like constantly. It's crazy. You wouldn't even believe me. Like as I'm doing this video, I have a vest on my fucking chest, bro. Like no fucking bullshit. I would show you right now, but that ain't no point. I don't want to turn my camera. I got to cover with tape. But because like they'll attack me whenever I make videos. Like you ever wake up with claw marks on you? That's what their claws are. Like the fucking like it's long claw marks. Like that's them. They're visiting you when you're sleeping. Uh, anyway, so yeah, it's causing glitches. They're getting. In essence, this is their immune response from the planet, getting rid of this freaky fucking shit. Um, it's just like a virus, like I said. It's just like a body getting a fever, upping its energy to destroy the virus. These things are lower vibrational things that are parasiting off something higher, and they have no place in the human body or any kind of mixing with the humans, and they're going to be eradicated because they're not going to be able to handle the energy. It's really just that simple. The energy that God's going to be flowing through the people. That's why the Son of Righteousness is going to simultaneously build up the good people, and it's going to burn the bad guys and burn them and make them like ashes before you. Really. If you pay attention to these people, as gibberish, dead pieces of shit they are, like Hillary Clinton was. That's how they all are. Like, if you pay attention to them to one degree or another, they're all fucked up like that. And to me, if we ever get into a fucking situation where we got to take them on, we have the advantage now because they're fucking like dribbling idiots to us. I'll put it this way. Steph Curry said we did not land on the moon. Steph Curry, best basketball player on the planet. Kyrie Irving. Hey, that joint don't look like no ball to me when I'm flying around. You know, that's what Shaq said too. One of the best players in the world. I'll put it this way. High energy people see through the bullshit. Athletes see through the bullshit. The best of them, at least. The other ones are just going to keep their mouth shut, boy. Because sometimes people are smart in a bad way where they're going to be cowards, basically. You know what I mean? Where they like, all right, I can do the math. I can't take all this on. But when you're on top of the world, you kind of see how things are. That most of the population ain't a threat, really. And you don't really fear it. You don't fear it. And also, they seem to have a connection to God. So, I don't know. Curry always points his hand to God, all that kind of shit. He has more hate than anybody in the league. They sabotage his team. It's because he's light-skinned. It's really just that simple. And he doesn't have these monkey features. That's why he's so fast. That's why he can move around. That's why he has big lips. That's not a monkey feature. You know what I mean? Oh, man. That's why they don't like certain kinds of like Ethiopian-looking brown people. Like they always try and like ruin those kind of people. Like it's the black and white checkerboard. The fucking either hot, too cold. The Goldilocks zone, the brown lock zone, the locks. Like Ethiopian people or the people that are like the Ethiopian, the Hebrews got locks in their hair. Goldilocks. Like golden ratio, like golden skin, shiny skin, like not too hot, not too hot, not too cold, not too cold, not too reptilian, like you can't handle the heat, not too reptilian, you can't handle the cold, in the middle where you can perfectly handle everything. You can create your own goddamn energy. Just like Jesus said, I have life within me, I can give life. And like the Father gave, I had life in him and he gave life. But anyway, there's a lot more to it, but you get what I'm saying. These guys, they can't handle the energy. The Browns, Bears, I already told you this earlier in this thing. I remember now. But you get where I'm coming from. For example, I'll even explain this. Women have a lower body heat than men. That's why they cannot burn off of fat as fast as a man. Their metabolism is slower. As people get older, their metabolism slows down. Their body temperature goes down. It's all just energy, man. It's a little bit of heat, but there's other types of energy as well they wouldn't want you to believe about. And all right, so let me get back to this, man. You get what I'm saying now.
What's happening underneath? Here's ABC's Akiko Fujita tonight.
Now I'm going to show you how this has to do with Cali.
The slow-motion disaster is threatening all 30 homes in this Northern California neighborhood. Small cracks just weeks ago, now gaping holes. The hillside collapsing. Jack Tarsingh watched the ground pull his neighbor's home 10 feet below the street, and
it makes the ground soft,
eat away at his house.
so you can sink into it.
No more bedrooms. No floor at all.
Officials have suspended mail delivery to keep carriers out of danger. They've redirected sewage
China's
because
trying to grab it
manholes
too, by the way.
At least half a dozen damaged homes have been tagged for removal, but
I
the
used to be in this top
hillside
right
is
corner
so
until I
unstable,
refreshed this video.
crews can't get in.
My home could be their home in a matter
Oh, it was actually
of days,
another video.
weeks, we don't know.
Lake County officials say water has been bubbling to the surface for
What
weeks,
was that?
saturating the ground. County officials say water has been bubbling to the surface
So why the fuck
for
is it
weeks,
bubbling to the
saturating the
surface?
ground. They
Bubbling.
say water has been bubbling to the surface for weeks, saturating the ground. They're scrambling to plug.
What did Dabu and them say about the volcano's effect on in Yellowstone? It caused the ground to get all soft and sinky and unstable, and water was boiling, hot boiling water. They ain't gotta tell you the truth, man. Of course, the NPCs don't. They got rid of my called part, made it just call. Lovely. Got a little spell check. Oh yeah, the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, that was actually pretty cool. Guess he's not an NPC. Finally found a non-NPC. Thank you. Keep pumping up water. Man. They don't even understand this is related to the fucking fires, man. It's hard though. I wondered if I was ignorant too. I guess maybe. So now you see that this is what's going on in California. This happened all through California. You got a lot of these the lands becoming unstable. The whole country, the whole state is fucking falling into the ocean. Literally, it's all falling into the goddamn ocean. It's all sinking into the fucking ocean. And that's exactly what they said was going to happen to California. And it's happening. People don't want to believe it, though. I hate to make my videos so goddamn redundant because I've already basically said what I had to say. But I'm going to sum it up real quick. Now that I'm giving you a lot of detail. But there's a lot more to it now. I'm going to get into like scientific proof when I break down this bullshit about these clones and these fucking reptilians and all that shit. But yeah, basically, guys trying to eradicate the earth, especially these damn snakes, man. Bible always talks about how they're the fucking enemy. The seed of the serpent, that's basically the whole enemy, like the two seeds here. Also the monkey people or whatever, but yeah, could be basically the same damn thing. Mark of the beast, they're not human. God sent us here. What did he have us do in the beginning of Genesis? He had Adam take all the animals, all the wildlife, and put them in the subjectivity. That was his purpose. And to watch after the garden. Now what are people doing? They're letting animals into their fucking species. Like, interbreeding, all kinds of shit, because the snake basically got in. And, just started fucking misleading them and making them go backwards of what they're supposed to do. Fucking up the whole fucking little petri pod we got going here, bro. Started with the garden, they fucked up, mixed with the bitch, with the serpent, and all that dumb shit started. It kept on going, and God was like, fuck this, y'all fucking animals, you're sinning with the animals, you're sinning with every fucking thing. So I'm gonna wipe you out. He wiped them out. Now it's just like those days again. Niggas is doing all kinds of stupid shit again. So God's gonna wipe the shits clean again, man. And they even said, like, in all these pyramid areas where all these fucking Mongol people made their pyramids and shit, where all these lactose intolerant people are coming from. And like I told you, most of the planet is these NPC motherfuckers. You didn't know this, but 75% of the planet are fucking lactose intolerant, like the snake. That's why everything about the snake is so popular. And like all their culture, like they make all these things named after like the Diamondback bikes and all this other dumb shit. I don't even remember off the top of my head. And all seeing eye, really just a reptilian eye, all this kind of dumb shit. But let me see. And then there's Draco that basically just like spirals around Earth like a fucking Christmas tree, but in the opposite way than the way Earth does. So it's kind of like backwards. Because it's going upward, our spiral goes down below us like a Christmas tree that's upside down. And that's all the land mass below us. I've seen it in a near-death experience. And that's why so much mass below us causes us to be pulled downward. Plus, the big giant mass is moving slightly upward towards something I couldn't tell in my dream. And it was slowly spiraling. Slowly. So it's like I could barely tell it was spiraling. Everything below is just like just dirt, basically, the outline of it at least. But I'm sure there's stuff living in there. And there's a lot of stories about that. And I believe that's where a lot of this comes from as well. But that's a whole nother story. And also to summarize, like I said, the energy is the immune response to this, and that's the whole son of righteousness, building up the energy in the volcanoes, causing the earthquakes and all that kind of stuff. And then on top of that, that's basically what's causing the shit in California. Like, that's the whole point of this video, really. It's just all interrelated, so I had to bring all that other shit up. God's trying to cleanse the planet, and California has a lot of trash in it. That's all I'm gonna say about it right now. A lot of trash. So does China. Maybe not so much Japan. I like Japan kinda, but I think they're just in a bad location. Just so happens to be the place where the energy's building up mostly. Because I saw that the way the sun moves is not exactly what they're saying. It seems to really just move around the Pacific. Don't ask me how. I fucking know. I basically already graphed it out where earthquakes are following the sun from basically a northern portal. Just like in the Book of Enoch, it said it would go down basically southward, but it wouldn't be exactly straight south on a globe type of map. It's a little different because on a flat Earth, you gotta understand that things are not exactly how they portray it on the globe. Not even if you were to turn it into an exact United Nations pie. All the fucking continents and stuff are not exactly outlined the way they think. The way they show you, and the way the sun orbits is not the way they show you. And more so, from what I could tell, goes down, and all other countries are connected by the Pacific. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. They're all connected by the Pacific. And the reason you can't tell is because of the way they shape the fucking image. I've already proven it on my other page. They took that page now, and they had endless fucking proof of all kinds of stuff that nobody else has because they're all NPCs. And I never understood how I wasn't world famous for predicting millions of fucking things, because I was able to create it. Because when I do the outpouring spirit, it blows these things down, these stars down as untimely figs, and we get these impacts. That's why the one in Russia, they couldn't see it because the sun blew it down. And they say it came from the side of the sun and they couldn't see it because of that. But no, that's bullshit. The sun blew it down and it just came right down. That's why they can't never really react to these things in time. But luckily there was a UFO there playing asteroid for them, and they blew that shit out of the sky right before it did full damage. So that's how I could predict it. Every time I do the outpouring of spirit, new protons, electrons, and neutrons come out of the sun, and change everything. Like everything that's supposed to change, it changes it. And that's why it says in second Ezra that the hills, they jumped for glee. Basically, they were doing earthquakes. The fucking land was in a huge giant earthquake, and this when God showed this man the prophecy of what was going to happen. And the reason they said that happened to the hills and stuff is because they knew they were going to be changed. Do you see? So that's why I call it earthquakes in diverse places. And why would I know that unless I'm the guy doing it? And it's not hard to figure it out when you're the one doing it, or when it's going to happen. That's how I was able to predict all these things, so on and so forth. And like I said, it blew them down. It caused the volcanoes. It caused people to act stupid. So on and so forth. That's pretty much the gist of it. That's why this is happening in California. California's Babylon. If you don't know anything about Hollywood, you can check out some of my videos saying Hollywood's Babylon. And now you pretty much know what's going on the planet. And maybe it's got to do with Nibiru as well, which is probably a part of my energy manifesting. Because it seems like whenever I do these things, they find new planets and shit. And it's just a lot longer story as far as how Nibiru and all that intertwines into me. I'll just say that Nibiru popped up when I changed my life for the better, when I came towards God. That's also when I noticed that people started to treat me bad for treating them good. It was really weird. But it's a long story, and now you understand what's going on. God's kicking in the immune response called the Son of Righteousness to destroy the wicked and all these lower vibrational creatures. Because when you're in a lower vibration, you're cold. You have no super consciousness. You're not going to have no empathy. You're not going to be able to change. You're stuck in a fucking moment. You're stuck there. You're stuck in limbo, like a dead person, but you're alive. You're the walking dead. That's why these people that are on drugs, they don't never change. They always just either get worse or they don't get better. I'll tell you that damn near every time. The only people that get better are the ones that realize, what's going on. They step out of that, and that's why guys have a sober mind these days. Otherwise, you'd be driven mad by this shit. That's why, like, when they said that the red and blue casino would come, the negative and positives. Just like you probably have a left and right hemisphere that one's negative and one's positive. Um, all that kind of stuff. Basically, it's just energy flux between the two, I'm pretty sure. But also, they have their own purposes or whatever. But people will lose their minds because of the drastic changes that are happening. And this is true. People are having that happen on a material, obvious level, on a metaphysical level. People are feeling all kinds of stuff, hearing stuff, all kinds of stuff. And I believe what you're hearing when you hear those strange noises in the sky, there's this thing called Skynet. There's also a force field up in the sky. And I believe they're actually using it to block asteroids. And I believe those are the asteroids sliding across the damn thing. But it also could be frequencies from HARP and all that kind of just, bounced off the ionosphere and all that kind of stuff. It could be either one. I don't know for certain, but it doesn't really matter. I know all this other shit, so it's a big jump up for you. Enjoy. Happy I could